Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now become quite old, has become quite collectible, and have become quite difficult to find. All three of those all in one breath. We are looking at the 1995 release by Playmates from their Star Trek Voyager series of action figures. And this particular action figure we're looking at today is of Neelix the Talaxian. Now, Neelix was one of the characters that appeared pretty much all the way through the series. It was only 2 episodes that he didn't appear in, and I think those were the last 2 episodes before Voyager found its way back to the Gamma Quadrant. Now, as you know, Star Trek Voyager was the fourth live-action series in the Star Trek franchise. You had the original series, then you had the animated original series, Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and then comes Star Trek Voyager. And as with DS9 and Star Trek Next Generation, Voyager ran for 7 seasons. A total of 172 episodes, each episode around about 45 minutes long. And it aired originally in January 1995 and finished in May 2001. And it obviously was a predetermined number of series that was predetermined prior to the series being made, as long as it done well, and it did absolutely splendidly well. Okay, so let's get back to the point. This is the figure of Neelix the Talaxian. And this is the card that the item comes on, and it says Star Trek Voyager, and you've got the warning: choking has a small parcel not for children under 3, ages 4 and up, an exclusive inaugural edition Playmates Skybox collector's card included. And it says Neelix the Talaxian, Delta Quadrant Guide, USS Voyager, and he comes with a Delta Quadrant Accessories, which is Starfleet Tricorder, Talaxian Phaser, Sims Beacon, and cooking pan, and bonus Starfleet display base. You've got the the Playmates logo on the bottom left hand corner, and it's assortment number 6480 and stock number 6489. Okay, so that is the front of the card. Now, before we have a good look at Neelix himself, let's turn the card around and let's have a look at the back of the card. Okay, so I'll turn the card around, and this is what we've got on the back. So at the top left-hand corner, it says ages 4 and up. It says exclusive inaugural edition Playmates Skybox collector's card. And you can see an image there of Catherine Janeway and her card. It says Star Trek Voyager. In an effort to rescue a band of marquee rebels, the Starfleet ship USS Voyager finds itself swept up in a strange and terrifying phenomenon, which throws the ship into the far reaches of the galaxy, some 70,000 light years away. With no easy way home, some of Starfleet's finest officers and a handful of dedicated marquee rebels join forces aboard one of the most highly advanced starships ever built, the USS Voyager, to find a way back home. Join the Voyager crew, exciting new adventures as they go boldly to explore, study and investigate this unexplored region of space. And it says collect all of these Star Trek Voyager action figures. So you've got Captain Catherine Janeway, Commander Chakotay, Lieutenant Tom Paris, Ensign Harry Kim, Lieutenant B'Elanna Torres, the Doctor, the emergency medical hologram, Lieutenant Tuvok, Kess of the Akampa, and this one, which is Neelix the Talaxian. And Delta Quadrant Accessories. So you've got the let's just zoom in on that so we can have let's bring it forward a bit, so it'll probably be a bit better so we can read it a little bit better. So we've got the Talaxian Phaser, alien phaser energy weapon, Starfleet Tricorder, portable sensor and scanning visual recording system, Sims Beacon, portable illumination and guidance device, cooking pan, some recipes incompatible with humanoid life forms, and you've got the Starfleet database. This is quite difficult to read the writing on this, actually. Important notice to collectors, and it's all about the dedication to the detailing and so on. You've got Star Trek Fan Club, how to join, and you've got 1 star point. The copyright information, 1995 Paramount Pictures, and it conforms to the safety standards. You've got the barcode at the bottom there, Playmates and Starfleet logo, and the package detailing and date, and the barcode and assortment number 6480, stock number 6489. And over here it says library computer and retrieval system, USS Voyager, NCC 74656, biographical profile, Starfleet Neelix, or subject Neelix, species Talaxian, and rank Delta Quadrant guide. Profile: the crew of the USS Voyager finds Neelix spare parts from a finds Neelix scavenging spare parts from a debris field near the Akampa homeworld. He boasted of his many valuable skills, not the least being his expert knowledge of this part of the Delta Quadrant. Since coming aboard with Kess, Neelix has taken it upon himself the additional duties of moral officer and cook. Neelix left Talax after a terrible holocaust that brought an end to the war against the Harkonian Order more than 15 years ago. A weapon called the Metron Cascade created a lethal cloud around the moon. Alnax, destroying all life, including his family. Talax surrendered the next day. Because he thought the war was unjust, Neelix never reported for military duty and was hiding on Telex when Ranax was destroyed. It was the shame that drove him to the stars. Neelix is obsessively devoted to Kess. He's jealous of any man who shows interest in her, especially Tom Paris. But Neelix means well and strives to keep the crew as happy as possible by playing them with his strange concoctions. No further information available. Consult Talaxian reference in Anthropological Directory. Okay, very, very difficult to read that. It is in that bold writing on a yellow background, and really is quite thick writing, but it's kind of like a blurry effect, so quite difficult to read. Anyway, that's the back of the card. Let's turn the card around to the front and let's have a good look at Neelix himself. Okay, so I've zoomed right in on Neelix himself there, and I just wanted to show you the pictures of, or the image of Neelix himself there, as the character shown in the television series, and the image of the figure, because I just wanted you to have a very good look at the detailing of the face. Now, I'll just zoom in a little bit closer. You can see on the left hand side you've got the Skybox card, and it's got an image of Neelix as portrayed by Ethan Phillips, and then on the right hand side you've got an image of the face of the figure, and it's a pretty good likeness, I have to say. Overall, I think for a 5-inch figure, the likeness is incredible. The nose is spot on, the eyebrows are spot on, I think even the eyes are spot on. Maybe the grin is not quite there, but he doesn't appear to be grinning in the figure like he is on the card. The hair and the head and the markings on his side of his face and around his forehead are all spot on. So yeah, really, really nice detailing on Neelix there, on the figure itself. The face is just I think is very, very good. The shape of the face as well is done very well, and the flatness is on the side of the head. Really does look the part. Showing the figure, if the figure was smiling, it would have been just like the card, and that would have been great. But you can see he's also wearing his Star Trek badge, and again that's an embossed, is like a raised area of the plastic on the figure, so it does feel like a badge rather than just a soap patch. And he's in his Talaxian suit, which is this multicolored suit that he wore for most of the television series, and then his blue boots at the bottom. So, and again, big hands on these figures, but then I guess that's to hold the accessories. So there we are. Now let's have a quick look at those accessories that we can see there. So you've got the Talaxian Phaser, you've got the Tricorder, and the Sims beacon. And I think if you can just see behind Neelix there, you can see his stand, his Starfleet stand is there as well with his name on it. It says Neelix. And yeah, there's all the accessories at the back there, and his saucepan is at the back there, which you can, I think you can, if you can just see behind where my thumb is there, you can see the saucepan. So that is his accessories. Okay, let's have a look at the articulation and the size of the figure. Well, obviously the figure is still sealed in the packet. I can't take him out, but I do have my trusted Ben Sisko figure, and he's exactly the same size with exactly the same articulation. So the figure measures, if we go in inches, it is a tad under 5 inches, so 4 3/4, which gives you in millimeters 12, in centimeters 12 centimeters. Just zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole size of the figure. And if I measure Sisko's arms as they are at the moment, they measure 6 centimeters, and depth-wise we're at 2 centimeters, and that's pretty much the same as Neelix. Now articulation is the same, so you've got the rotating head, so you can turn the head all the way around if you wish. You've got the top of the arm, which moves up and down, and then you've got the top of the arm which turns as well. So you can move the arm all the way around if you wanted to, and of course you've got the elbow joint, so it just makes it so much easier to move the whole arm of the figure with the articulation they've got. There's no articulation on the hand, but you don't need it because you've got the arm movement at the top there. I mean, you try and move your wrist without moving your arm, you can't do it. So there we go. And the same on the other arm, and then the waist, and then the knee joints, tops of the legs and the knee joints move. There's no movement on the foot, but you will notice that each of the figures are individually numbered on the base of the figure. So there we are. That's the articulation as demonstrated there by none other than Captain Ben Sisko. And there is Neelix himself, and again you can see the same articulating marks on Neelix. Now just notice that Neelix does have additional movement on his legs. You can see he's got articulation at the top of the legs there as well, so his legs will twist the same as they do on the arms. So there's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 points of articulation. Excellent articulation on a 5-inch action figure. So, and the detailing on it is very good. The sculpting was spot on, so really good set of figures that these Voyager ones were, and that goes for the entire range. They got them absolutely right. So how well did they do back in their release date in 1995? Well, yeah, I mean, they done absolutely splendidly. The first batch of figures sold out rapidly. We still had the shop back in those days, and when these figures come in, literally they were on the shelf the morning of the arrival, and they were gone by the end of the day. And then of course we had to wait for more batches to come through from Bandai, who was the UK distributor for Playmates at the time. So yeah, it was a wait. The figures can come in. They still sold, not quite as quickly as they did obviously the first batch that come in, but again there was a lot of interest on the figures, and that went on for a while, obviously until pretty much everybody that wanted the figures had got them. So big quantities, sold very well, and we were all dying for Voyager merchandise because it was the new Star Trek that was huge on the television series. And remember, the whole franchise was massive. It was probably the biggest franchise in the world at the time, so the merchandise was just, you know, highly sought after, and everything sold extremely well. Now let's move forward nearly 30 years. So we're moving forward to 2024, which is 29 years to be precise, almost 30 years. Do these figures come up very often on the platforms nowadays? Well, they occasionally come up on the platforms, I'm not going to lie. They do sometimes come up on the platforms. Not as often as they used to. They used to see a lot more of them appearing, but not as many nowadays as they used to be. You do see a lot more appear on the US platforms rather than the UK ones. More than likely that's because there was an awful lot more in the US market than there was in the UK market, so I'm guessing that's the reason why. But you do tend to see a lot of these figures loose though, ones that have been out, been played with, or have been displayed. Very few of them you see come with the, if they're open, come with the accessories and the inaugural Skybox card. And finding them like this, sealed mint on the card, is very, very rare these days. However, yes, you know it, we at Midas Touch, we managed to find a whole case of these figures, which we rescued from a closed down shop, which had been there for many, many years, and after COVID they couldn't make things work, decided to retire, and we were fortunate enough to go in and buy all the stock. And there was cases and cases of old stock in the stock room that had never been even put on the shelf. They were still sealed. They never even got around to opening the stock and putting it away, because I suppose the items took a fair amount to sell on the shelf, and they didn't bother to put them on the shelf. They just left them off and made way for new stock. I'm guessing that's the reason why. But it was like Aladdin's cave for us when we went in there and bought out all of the stock, especially in the stock room. So we have all of the figures available on the Midas Touch website, and they're all mint condition, just as this one is. And you can get to the Midas Touch website very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website, and there will be something for everybody. And I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful Neelix action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.